I was talking about you the other day, Gemini, to another star sign who shall remain nameless. And I was talking about your ability to be in two places at once, whether that is psychological or in some cases, I am convinced, material. Oh, hello. Okay. So the cards have something to say on this subject. Let's have a shaman's dream oracle just for you. This is for June 2020. Ooh, oh my God. June 2025. I've not seen this one before, especially seeing as it fell like that. Spiritual narcolepsy. I think I know what that means. Sleeping on the job, isn't it? Sleeping on the job. So it's a lapse or being behind, as you can see here, being behind layers when it comes to realizing something that you need to realize at this point in your life, at this point in the year, during June 2025. Groupthink. This is such a Gemini thing. I mean, that's like a million different thoughts at once. There's a clock hanging from a tree. There's a rose. There's a cup of coffee, is there somewhere? Or could be a tower block, who knows? The many, 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 many ways that Geminis piece together reality constantly and also recycle it for everybody else. Swing. So there's something here that you are missing. There's something I would go so far as to say it's a known unknown. I know. It's a known unknown. As the French say, vous me prenez la tête, except they say it a lot better than that. You know this, whatever it is, whether it's a spiritual truth, whether it's like, and I'm getting last couple of pieces of a jigsaw. Have you ever, I mean, jigsaws, I know, I'm so boring, but I do like a jiggy. And sometimes with a jigsaw, you have a piece that you constantly go to that seems to fit or should or looks like it absolutely should fit in this space. And then it just never does. It's almost like a red herring in an Agatha Christie plot, you know? You're like, and I was so close. If it hadn't been for you pesky kids. I think that's Scooby-Doo, isn't it? But what I'm trying to get to in a roundabout way is I'm getting channeled that you have a couple of missing pieces to a situation or a story, whatever, and you've come close to finding out what you need to find out, but even though it's really, really close, it's not the truth. It's not what you need to know, and I'm just writing that down because I think that's important as we go on in this reading. Okay, June. I'm always scribbling bits down. Okay. The groupthink for me is like the collective, and Gemini is a sign that early, middle or late you are taking information and you are regenerating it for the collective consciousness. Literally, often Geminis have jobs that involve communication, so you could be communicating information to others. But even though you can do that, you don't realize it for yourself. So there's something missing. Now, this could be in a work situation. It could be playing out in a relationship. It could be, I'm doing a love reading for you in a minute underneath this one. Let's see. First card I get for you using the old Morgan Greer, the Nine of Pentacles. Again, the Nine of Pentacles has this, it's Venus in Virgo, and it has this hint of independence. You've always got a woman in a garden, and there's always these grapes everywhere. Grapes in tarot, low-hanging fruit. They're important. Don't ignore grapes or apples. I'd say in life, not just in tarot. And I'm not just talking in red wine. When you see grapes or pomegranates is another one, we're talking here about a bounty, about abundance, and we're also talking about knowledge and building something and fecundity. Such a good word, that, isn't it? Your garden growing and you being in charge of that. Okay? There's something here about you sustaining yourself. Now, if this is to do with work, because we also have the King of Pentacles, which is very interesting, because the King of Pentacles, note many, many grapes. Many grapes on the King of Pentacles. He's a man with a big bunch of grapes. Yes. When you get the King, it can be your boss. It can be, you know, the way your work's structured. It can be your pay packet. It can be, it's very, very pentacly. And the Nine of Pentacles, Venus in Virgo, that's very earthy, very pentacly. There's something here about not giving out to everybody, whether that's an act of generosity or just the way you are with information. You know, I'll tell you this, I'll give you this tip, I'll tell you that, I'll tell you the other. It's the way Geminis work. I love it. Love my Gemini friends. And also I go to a stand-up comedy thing, like a class. The teacher there is a Gemini. Of course she is. Because she's taking all the information about little bits of this and that and this and that and giving it to all of us and then presenting it to an audience and paying the words forward. You will catch a lot of Geminis doing things like stand-up comedy. Try it if you haven't already. I know I was absolutely SH1T scared when I first got there, but actually it's not too bad. But anyway, I digress. I'm a mutable sign too. We love a digression. When you look at these two, they're solid earth cards, not Gemini-ish. You're being called, for some reason, God, I love that I'm getting this, love doing your readings, because I have a feeling, because I'm a Pisces, that I channel the sign that I'm doing. So when I do Gemini readings, it's like I've just literally got Mork and Mindy. Now I'm old, so do you remember Mork? Mork calling Orson, come in Orson. I just got that. I haven't even thought about that for the longest time, except that Mindy's dress sense I loved when I was younger. I wanted her flares and the rainbow top. Mork and Mindy, there's a guy who kind of, it's Robin Williams as well, amazing, who sort of lives in space, but he lives on Earth. And that's what I'm kind of putting to you, is that Geminis, particularly if you are, I don't know what would constitute this, but quite a pure Gemini, maybe an early Gemini, but I don't know. Let me know what's in your chart. Let me know in the comments, because I love to have comments off Geminis. And do hit the like button if this is resonating, because it does help the video reach other Geminis. Geminis are like Mork here on Earth. This is why you can be in two places at once, because I swear to God you can do that thing off Star Trek where you just go into that thing, that beam me up Scotty, and then down somewhere else, but you're still kind of there as an avatar. I know, but these two cards are pulling you back. They're saying notice something, notice something. There is something, there's a known unknown, there's something you haven't seen. Got to write that down. There's something, it's a missing clue. Okay? It's a missing clue. So it could be about what you're doing for a living. It could be about being self-employed, your side hustle. It could be about many things, to be honest. But remember that spiritual narcolepsy and that groupthink card is very interesting. Oof. Card's just like, come on, I'm coming out on my own. Right. Yeah. We've got the 10 of Wands. It's strange because these two cards, the King of Pentacles and the 9 of Pentacles, are calling you to come down to earth and to be still. But at the same time, there's a question here for you. What is dragging you down? Not calling you to earth, but dragging you down. Okay? Oppression. The 10 of Wands is oppression. Is it time for you to be looking for a different job? Is it time for you to be looking for a different relationship? I don't know. It can be about any, and we'll look at relationships in a minute. It can be about any of those things, but it has to be your choice, not someone else's oppression keeping you there. Okay? And then we get Judgment. Judgment, what a tricky card. Judgment is my Back to the Future card, past, present and future. The situation that you're in has history. It has history. It may not be easy to work out what that history is, but you've been here before. Either in your weird 2 places at once, past life, Gemini weirdness, or literally, it's like, oh, I did this before. I've been in this bind before. I've known this situation before. It reminds me of this time when before. Okay? Wake up to it with this falling angel. Tune in to the mindful groupthink. Okay, I'm going to look at relationships, and I feel like this is going to swing. That this is going to match some of this. So let's use Sarsaparilla Tarot, because look at it. And that's where you're at. That's what you're doing. Okay. Nope, that's enough. Woof! Swing rockets. That's what you want in a love life card, isn't it? That is what you want. So I'd like 8 pink rockets, if you don't mind. Okay, rockets, 8 of Wands. Let's put it there. Well, I like the way that kicked off. 9 of Pentacles. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put these here, and then I can zoom in on them a bit more, because we've looked at the ones at the top, and I will draw your attention to the ones at the top too. Right, 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. If I point more, will it make it more obvious? Okay, a double card. So this message is very, very important. Independence in your love relationships, whether that is in your friendships, whether that is in intimate relationships, significant others, whatever you want to call it. You are normally, I would say, fairly independent people as Geminis in relationships, in my experience. But this is interesting. When you get the 8 of Wands, this is information. That's why it's got these rockets. It's information coming in. It's something. It can be like an email, a phone call, a text, something sort of coming towards you that you're hearing about, that's making itself known. And you need to stay steady in your own identity. Okay, let's hear some more about this. If the love reading resonates, there will be an extended love reading, as there is every month. So if you get to the end and it's really like, oh my God, that is the first link in the description box. They don't want to shuffle. So that tells me, oof, that we know where we are. Oh, Gemini, what is that? Okay. No coincidence that the High Priestess wants to show up. Got those two cards there as well. Get them in a minute. She wants in. She's like, okay. No more fiddle faddle. None of this twaddle. This is big time intuition. Three of Swords. What hurt you last time? Historical. Old wounds. The need to protect yourself. Good boundaries. Decent hedge. Let's say a decent hedge, you know, or Robert Frost. Good fences make good neighbours. Or is it to keep people, the right people in or the wrong people out? Either way, your boundaries are going to be very important. And Geminis don't always have the time or the need for boundaries because you move really quickly and therefore you don't necessarily need to anchor yourself with a boundary. You're air and you're mutable. You're mercurial, you're supposed to move. Your movement is your boundary. Oof, channel message. I'm loving that, Gemini. Your movement is your boundary. Can't hit a moving target. While you're on the move, because I'm not sure if I can get you to stand still, and I'm not even sure if I should. Whether you do it on the move or whether you do it still, you've got to get into this Three of Swords. Because it's not healed. And it's providing a chink in your armour. More than a chink. Which will resonate across the rest of your life, not just your love life. What's holding you back? What's this oppression? Let's just get rid of me a minute. And then I can put that one there. Seven of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. This is a reset. This is a relationship reset, whether this is with one person or, you know, like a specific person and that you're in a specific situation and you're thinking, my God, you know, this needs a reset. Or whether this is your love life in general, your relationships in general. This Seven of Cups, which I think is a delightful looking card, is about being in space, you know, being up in the air. It can be fantasizing, it can be avoidance, it can be la la la, nothing's happening, la la la, you know, that sort of feeling, the kind of thing that we all do in that nothing to see here, la 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 type feeling. But we then run into this Six of Pentacles, where there is a need for you to be receiving rather than giving out fantasy energy, giving out too much information, or giving out anything until you've kind of solved what this is and what the missing piece is that you need to know. Now, the missing piece that you need to know is not necessarily, and I'm going to take a card for it, tied to a particular person. In some cases it is, but in general, it's a spiritual truth. Remember, falling angel, narcolepsy. Oof. Oof. I just took a card from the Morgan Greer that we used up here. Oof. Pulls no punches, mate. Look at that. The Lovers. The Lovers. Now, Gemini. The Lovers is the Gemini card. The Lovers is the sacrifice and choice card. And, oh, I knew I had to take this one. Whew. Good God. Gemini, run to the comments and spill the beans with me now. Very interesting, because, look, in other versions, like Ride Away, I think, you've got the angel at the top and that weird Cadius thing that I can't remember the name of with the wiggly snake thing. The angel blesses the union here. And on the Lovers, I'm pretty sure it's the same. So these two are quite dualistic cards. I always think of them that way, quite dualistic. This is a choice that you will need to make. Probably not right now, because when you get the Lovers, that choice is not immediate. It's what I call being kicked into the long grass. So there will be a choice to do with a relationship. Two of Cups, relationship card, Venus in Cancer, usually a very romantic card, a very romantic match card. I call it the you put the phone down first card, which is more difficult now we have mobile phones because it doesn't really work. And I'm again going back to a sort of 80s vibe, you know what I mean? Paperclip, taking the old lock off your parents' phone, that sort of stuff. You put the phone down first. No, you put the phone down first. There will be a choice to make, and that choice will depend on information that you will receive. Okay? That information will cause you a couple of things. Firstly, hopefully, and this is like, you know, when you're doing Pilates or something like that. Okay, you're like, Gemma, really? Hear me out. Well, let's say you're putting out the bin, because that's a more relatable thing, isn't it? Everyone puts out the bin, unfortunately. Before you lift the heavy bin, you engage your pelvic floor. I do, because I've had a bad back before. And it braces you to be able to twist and turn and lift the weight without damaging the lower back. Okay, don't take this as medical advice, not from me, but you do. You engage your pelvic floor. Okay, it's protection. You are going to be needing to make a big decision with some kind of sacrifice attached, as there always is with a big decision, because you say yes to one thing and no to another, really, about a connection, a relationship. Before doing that, make sure you're rocking your 9 of Pentacles era, okay? Because this sense of independence, of boundaries, etc., is going to keep you safe, I suppose is the word I'm looking for, and protected and upright in a time that could get a bit messy. Okay? And you're going to need that sense of self and independence to see you through, so that you don't overcompromise or give in to anything that is in any way oppressive, and that you can keep a realistic idea of what you want and who you are and where you want to be with this. In the extended reading, I'm going to look at these cards here, the 8 of Wands. What is this information? The 3 of Swords, we're going to dig around in that, I'm afraid, in the 3 of Swords. What is holding me back? What is the shadow side? We're going to look at your person, the significant other on the other side of this connection. We're going to take some cards for them. And the best way forward for you, okay? Because you're the important one. First link in the description box. I'm going to go and do it now. Gemini, I can't wait, actually. It's going to be a saucy one, as the actress said to the bishop. I will see you on the other side. Namaste.